This is the Athlon Talos BTR Gen 2, a 10 power by 42mm rifle scope. That's correct, this is a fixed 10 power, and it is a Talos, which is Athlon's entry-level line. But there's a saying that less is more, and we're going to see how true that is with this scope. Alright, that's the unboxing. Let's take a look at what you get in the box. This is the Athlon Talos, a 10 by 42mm scope. That's correct, it is a fixed power scope. No illumination on the scope, so it's very much an old school, very simplified hunting and precision scope, so no illumination. And it goes down to 10, which is perfect for air guns, up to infinity. Oh, and that's a very smooth parallax knob there. It has exposed turrets, and let's just check these out. Very audible and tactile positive, and they are resettable. Let's just check out that zero stop here. And there is a tooth on that wheel, and that slams up against, well, in this case, it's not another tooth. It is a little pin there. Now let's check out the windage here. Oh, yes. Just as audible and tactile positive, and no slop at all. Just check out the diopter. Nice and smooth. Not exactly butter smooth, but pretty darn smooth. Alright, so overall it's a nice scope. We'll take it outdoors and test it out next. I mounted the scope to a photo tripod and took it outdoors. We are looking at the peak of Mount Davidson 1,400 yards away through the Athlon Talos at 10 power, and it is a bright but overcast day here and very gusty and windy, so pardon a little bit of camera shake as the wind gusts. Now you can compare the image inside of the scope to that outside of the scope in terms of brightness and saturation and any color shifting that may be occurring through the glass. Overall, the image is sharp from center to the outer edge, with just the barest hint of a purplish fringe chromatic aberration visible in the tree branches silhouetted against the sky on the right edge. It's clear enough that I can make out the trail marker sign at the top of the hill. This is an 8-foot tall pole with a 36-inch sign atop it, which is a good proxy for an IPSC target at this distance. Next, I took the scope out to the rifle range to test out the turrets. Okay, and I'm going to just turn the elevation knob as far as it'll go. That is the bottom. Quite a bit of range. That's our top there. Let's bring this back to 0. And let's check out our windage. These are very tactile turrets. Okay, that's our rightmost. That's quite far. Alright, let's go. And it just keeps on going. Alright, that is our leftmost range of adjustment. We're going to do a box test. Do a full rotation on our elevation, full rotation on our windage, back to 0 on our elevation, and back to 0. Yeah, we're right back where we started. All right, we're going to do a turret abuse test now, which is my buddy Cyclops Joe calls a nipple twister. I'm just going to turn the heck out of these turrets. Alright, let's just bring these back to their 0 point on the turrets. And We are right back where we started. These turrets are rock solid. Overall, the image is bright and detailed. You can make out individual bullet splashes on the steel backstop. I can easily make out the bullet holes in the reactive sticker target on the bottom left, though I can barely see a hint of the two .22 caliber holes below that. In the Air Force optical resolution chart, I can make out horizontal and vertical lines down to element 6 and group -2, and even finer with my naked eye, which is pretty good for a 10 power scope. Alright, before we talk about the Talos, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It just takes a second. And you're still watching this video, so probably you like it. And consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. That's absolutely free. Though I do also offer paid memberships now to my channel. And as a paid member, you get early access to my videos days, even weeks ahead of the general public. And at higher membership levels, you get invited to special live streams and live chats with me where I give away some of the products that I review. So yeah. Hint, hint, it's a good opportunity. And speaking of opportunities, I want to thank Athlon for sending out this scope for me to test and evaluate and giving me the opportunity to review it. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised by how well this performed, because this is a Talos, which is their budget or quote-unquote entry-level brand, but this performed anything but like a budget entry-level scope. I mean, check this out. These turrets are phenomenal. They're probably the most tactile. I mean, I can feel every click, and you can hear that. This is not enhanced sound. These are crazy loud turrets, so you know when you're making your adjustments. And it focuses down to 10 yards, so yeah, perfect for air gun or rimfire. In fact, at 10 power, this is really all the scope you need. I mean, most of us shoot variable power scopes now because they become so ubiquitous and inexpensive. But even with a 4-12 or a 6-24 scope, most of us who know will usually just shoot that at the middle range of that magnification. And the only time we ever use the low end for wide is if I don't know where my shots are landing when I'm putting it on a new rifle, I need to zero out, I need to see where my hits are splashing. Or if I'm cracking it up to 24, it's usually, again, only to sort of self-spot when I'm too lazy to pull out my spotting scope so I can hopefully see my holes on paper. That's the only time I set it up at the maximum. 99% of the time I'm fixed at whatever, somewhere in between, typically about like 12 power or 15 power, not far from a 10 power scope. And this 10 power scope is just a good, perfect balance, because even at 100 yards in my live fire testing, I was able to see a 4-inch X on the target, super clear, and get my typical group at 100 yards. So really, this is all the scope you need. And with a fixed power scope, you're dealing with less weight and less cost. So this is a very reasonable price scope. And if you're interested in picking one up, I'll include product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. Check out that article, use those links to help support this channel. Anyway, I hope this review was helpful for you. Thanks for watching. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.